Hey, welcome back to Beer Geek Beer Reviews. And today I'm going with a whopper of a beer. One of my favorites in Massachusetts. This is going to come from the Clown Shoes Brewing Company. Now, I was lucky enough when the company had brought their beer into Ohio. I got to talk to the representative that came directly from the brewery. And I told him all about, my channel and whatnot. I do not know whatsoever if anybody from Clown Shoes has actually seen any of my reviews. But at the same time, I enjoy all of their beers. I mean, if you guys have seen pictures of this desk that my fingers are touching right now, I mean, there is Clown Shoes like there, 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 there. It's just like I love their stuff. Oh, and I've also started a stool that's sitting like right here where my finger is touching off screen. There, there. But anywho, that's not the point. The point is that I had picked up another one of their Bomber Series bottles, and it is right here. Like how I just pulled it out of thin air off the side of the screen, right? But anywho, this is I'm taking it that this is an Ohio only beer. I'm not too sure. This is white-tailed Unidragon, and let me show this off. Let me show this off. It's a deer, a white-tailed deer, with the clown shoes on it. I mean, there's the shoe, and he's got the Unidragon wings, and one big ungodly horn growing out of the top of his head. I mean, and it looks like a dragon tail and feet or back hind legs. But anywho, really is let me veer off real quick. There aren't many Unidragons out there in the wide world, but the beasts do get frisky. The white-tailed Unidragon is a production of the wacky interspecies, mispronouncing this word, I know I will, shenanigans. That's what it looks like to me. To commemorate the most unusual love child, we bourbon barrel aged Ohio Unidragon 2015, creating a huge, rare, and aesthetic brew. Anywho, really, this is what you really get for Ohio. I mean, granted, I really did enjoy the backdrop of Cleveland City, Rock Hall, the Skulls, all that for one of the brews. But I'm like, white-tailed deer? I get that. I got the Ohio Unidragon as well. Um, but it is whimsical. I'll give it that. It is very whimsical. Bottled on 4/4/16, so it's still rather fresh. Bourbon barrel aged. This will last in the bottle for, I'm going to guarantee you, up to 3+ years. So let's go ahead, find said quarter that's laying somewhere on this desk. It gets kind of hard after many labels on the desk um, to pop a top. And let's pour. The only thing that I do digress against, I love all of Clown Shoes beers. I mean, they seem to be a very solid and very, very good company when it comes to barrel aging. But at the same time, I'm going to let you in on something. I don't know, you guys probably won't be able to see this too bright from the screen. 1679 for this bottle. Is it worth it? We're about to find out. All right. So, let me set this Wonder Brew right there and assess, shall we? Now, as you can see, again, The Ohio Unidragon was a stout, and as a stout, it is black as night. No, not the Dark Knight. Black as night. With a very thin, tannish, khaki, mocha, burnt malt color. Um, but as for, it looks thick. I mean, let's do a pull test. Meh, meh, meh. We'll do a pull test again after we've had some. But the ABV on this, 12%. And knock on wood, Ohio House Bill, I believe it's 34 or 37. Anywho, plans to get rid of the ABV limit. Let's get that passed, shall we? Tired of being stuck at 12%. Anywho. Wow, whoa. Whoa. I'm drooling. Whoa. Okay. As always with Clown Shoes, you're definitely going to smell the bourbon when they barrel age beers. Or whatever they barrel aged in, you're going to get the alcohol, the bourbon. And that's what I'm smelling. I'm getting loads of bourbon. I'm getting sweet baker's chocolate. I'm getting coffee. I'm getting vanilla notes. Almost like almost like that cocoa no bake cookie aroma. And more bourbon. So, again, 12%. Prost. Cheers. Salante. However you want to say it. Here it goes. Huh. Not bad. Very thick. So this is a very full mouthfeel. It's got a little bit of like a slickness to it. I mean, that's how thick this mouthfeel is. Loads of bittersweet baker's chocolate. I'm definitely getting a mocha or coffee hint, coffee bean-esque. The bourbon is way more in the aroma than it is the drink. I mean, you can still pick it out in the drink. It's prevalent. It's not overbearing, and that's what I was kind of expecting, especially from the aromatics that come off of this beer. It is like you assume, and Mr. Coulter, yes, I know you don't assume. Anywho, it's you assume that once you get the aromatics of this beer, you're already preparing yourself for an onslaught of bourbon and wood. And that's just not what it is. I mean, it's very, very, very smooth. It's very creamy, very thick mouthfeel. Loads of chocolate, loads of earthiness, loads of like coffee, a little bit of like a black licorice. It just like coats the tongue, coats your palate, coats your mouth, the whole 9 yards. And the flavors linger. I mean, it coats it so well on the inside that it is just the flavors linger. Now, as I said, let's assess again. Let's get it all the way up there. Oh, almost off the edge, and do another pull test. Look at that. Look at that. You can tell how thick this is. Look at that. I mean, you just do that sometimes. You know, do a pull test and see how. I mean, not only does that tell you, you got a, decently clean glass. I mean, sometimes it will coat the glass, sometimes it won't, depending on, You know, you're doing it in dishwasher, hand washing, you know, whatever. If you did the salt test, um, sometimes I dislike doing this because sometimes you don't get it washed out good enough, especially if you're in an apartment and you got to do it by hand, and then you don't get it all rinsed out, and then your beer tastes a little salty. But anywho, um, if you guys have had this beer, I know I've run way over what I've wanted to do, but if you had this beer, then let me know what you think. If you can't find it, I mean, seek it out. You know, trade for it, try it. I mean, this is a phenomenal beer, and I say that a lot about barrel aged beers, and I could talk for days on barrel aged beers, but is that worth it? Meh, I think so. Um, I may or may not be back later, like next week, with a very rare, very sought after beer, and I don't know if it's worth the price. I don't know, and that's another subject we'll touch on later on. But peace, pro Stews, and as always, rate, comment, subscribe, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you dislike it, and as always, man, I will be back again for another beer in said glass. Peace, my friends. Pros, deuce. Enjoy.